Have you ever looked back at one of your decisions and thought, what was I even thinking? The truth is, you probably weren't thinking as much as you believed. Your brain actually has two completely different ways of making decisions, and understanding the ideas in thinking, fast and slow, can completely change the way you work, spend money, and even build stronger relationships. The first big idea is that our brains use two completely different thinking systems. The first one is called System 1. It's fast, automatic, and driven by instinct. Imagine you're crossing the street and a car suddenly speeds toward you. You don't stop to calculate the distance or think through your options. You jump out of the way instantly. That's System 1 doing exactly what it was designed to do. The second system is System 2. It's much slower and more deliberate. Think about buying your first home or choosing a college. You compare options, read the details, and carefully weigh the pros and cons before making a decision. The problem is that System 1 sometimes jumps to conclusions too quickly. For example, imagine you wear a blue shirt to an important job interview and end up getting hired. The next time you have an interview, you wear that same shirt because part of you believes it's lucky. In reality, the shirt probably had nothing to do with your success. That's your brain creating a connection that doesn't actually exist. The key takeaway is simple. System 1 helps us react quickly, but for important decisions, we should slow down and let System 2 take over. The second big idea is called anchoring. Have you ever walked into a store and seen a jacket with a price tag of $500 crossed out and marked down to $250? Suddenly, $250 feels like an amazing deal. But if you had never seen the original price, would you still think it's a bargain? Probably not. That's because the first number you see becomes an anchor. It quietly shapes your judgment, even if that number is completely arbitrary. This happens everywhere, from salary negotiations and car dealerships to online shopping and real estate. The first number often influences what we think is reasonable before we've even had time to think logically. The third big idea is the availability bias. Our brains tend to judge how likely something is based on how easily we can remember examples of it. Imagine spending a week watching videos about home burglaries. By the end of the week, you might feel like break-ins are happening everywhere, but the reality probably hasn't changed. The stories are simply fresh in your mind, making the risk feel much larger than it actually is. The lesson here is to separate what's memorable from what's actually probable. Just because something gets a lot of attention doesn't mean it's common. The fourth big idea is loss aversion. Here's a simple question. Would you rather receive $100 for sure or flip a coin for a chance to win $250 with the risk of getting nothing? Most people avoid the risk, even when the numbers suggest it's worth considering. That's because losing feels much more painful than winning feels rewarding. Our brains are wired to avoid losses, even if it means passing up better opportunities. Understanding this also explains why marketers often focus on what you'll lose instead of what you'll gain. Fear is usually a stronger motivator than opportunity. The fifth big idea is framing. Imagine two gyms advertising the exact same results. One says, 85% of our members reach their fitness goals. The other says, only 15% of our members fail to reach their goals. They're communicating the exact same information, but one sounds much more encouraging than the other. The facts haven't changed, only the wording has. And surprisingly, that small change can completely influence how people feel and the decisions they make. The final big idea is the sunk cost fallacy. Imagine you've paid for a full year of a streaming service. A few months later, you realize you barely use it anymore. Instead of canceling, you keep paying because you don't want the money you've already spent to feel wasted. But here's the truth: that money is already gone. Continuing to pay won't bring it back. The only question that matters is whether keeping the subscription benefits you today. The same idea applies to unhealthy relationships, failed business projects, or hobbies we've lost interest in. Don't let yesterday's investment force tomorrow's decision. Make choices based on where you are now, not where you've already been.